Last night, silverseek.com posted an interview between two different people, and it's titled, "Silver is the most bullish I've ever seen." I'm about to show you a snippet from this interview, and just check out what they have to say.
Folks, Jeremy Irons just stood up and he's saying this is it. He's pounding the table with his fist, okay? This is it. But most of the players don't know it yet, okay? So my argument, Bill, is the setup that I've been waiting 14 years for just happened. Gold is breaking to new highs, but it hasn't done so markedly. When the magnitude of that advance is unmistakable and it finally is front page news on USA Today, on the Wall Street Journal, on CNBC, even on Fox, and also on Investment Business Daily, silver goes nuts because the herd says, I missed gold again. I got caught flat-footed. What's cheap? What can I do? Silver. It always has been poor man's gold. And who is poor? The little retail investor. So just think of me as someone who happened to be listening through the keyhole to Jeremy Irons' speech on silver in the boardroom. And that's what I heard Jeremy Irons say.
This interview is fascinating and extremely informational, all the different angles he takes on why silver is so bullish. Now, I'm going to show snippets here and there. The entire thing is 14 minutes and 41 seconds. I will post the interview in its entirety in the description for you guys to check out, but just stick with me real quick because we have a lot to break down. So first off, Bill Murphy, which is from gada.org, comments on the explosive move higher in silver over the past month, and I quote, "The monthly silver chart is the most bullish he's seen in his life." He talked about this. He's been waiting 14 years to see a setup like this. Is silver building up steam for an explosive vertical move? Bill notes that $26 and $30 are the last two hurdles left to eclipse by the silver bulls. Now that we've seen one of the most explosive one-month rallies in silver, I will be thrilled. If we get through $26 for starters and then $30 are key. But JP Morgan, we've talked many times, this is where they knock it down again, mentioning the silver suppression, price manipulation. So far, they haven't done it. Gold's broken out, and as you well know and speak about, and silver's right there. Again, this is where it's failed. I don't know, 50 times in a row, and if it doesn't fail, we go back up, it can take out $26, then we have something. And yes, the silver price manipulation, the suppression, the rigged price can be very frustrating, but there is a day, sooner than later, some say, where the price suppression will not be able to outweigh the fundamentals, since silver plays such a critical role. Then he continues, and I quote, "Oh, it's 4 years in the monthly silver charts. It's the most bullish thing I've ever seen in my life. Big picture, but short term, we go through the same nonsense because of these people that won't let it go. Once those resistance points are cleared, little technical resistance remains. A monthly close above $30 could soon be followed by a retest of $50. Above $50, there's little technical resistance below 100. And that's what I've been saying. If it breaks above that extreme resistance level of $50, it would shoot to $100 very soon afterwards. It wouldn't stay at $100 most likely. It would skyrocket up to there and then probably pull back down to like $60 or $70 after it corrects, right? Because it's extreme overbought territory, but since there's no stability there and all the hype is there, I mean, there's been a 50-year resistance level building from 1980 to 2011 to 2024. Who knows, you know, in the next couple of years when this would happen, maybe a year, maybe 3, 4, 5 years. Regardless, the whole point is that $50 has been the cap since 1980. For several decades, it's been the cap. So once it breaks above that, it's going to skyrocket. And that's what he's mentioning when he says there's little resistance below 100. If history follows a pattern set up during the last precious metals bull market, silver could leave a launch pad as gold approaches $2,500. Since impressive silver advances are known to lag to new highs in the gold market by several months, theta-related time decay investments are less suitable for this opportunity. Once the nascent bull market is recognized by mainstream media, silver show should commence. And megastar podcaster Health Ranger is now calling for triple-digit silver in the long term. And you're going to hear a lot of people call for triple-digit silver. And, when I mention that silver is explosive, a lot of people might think I'm over-exaggerating. I'm one of the more modest people. I'm minimal. I'm not going to say silver is going to explode to $500 like you'll hear some people say. Some people say several $1,000s. I'm not one of those people that's going to sit here and truly believe silver is going to hit $1,000 by the year 2027 or something. Now, we live in a world where I can't even say it's possible, but because the dollar's so weak, especially given that the dollar is losing not only its purchasing power, but its status as the world's reserve currency, and most likely how we're going to default or switch to a digital currency. And now that precious metals are becoming more of a monetary value, gold and silver from the BRICS nations building this digital currency backed by physical commodities and all this, who knows really what gold and silver could be valued at, especially silver in the coming years, given that it's needed for industry to go green and all these separate things. So I can't say what a price would be for silver once all this blows up or once price manipulation isn't held. I mean, how can you determine what an ounce of silver is worth when it's been suppressed and the price has been manipulated since the beginning? You can't. So $1,000 silver might be very modest. That might be very, very low compared to how valuable it is. I mean, think about it. Gold is used as money, used for a store of value, but it kind of just sits around. But then we have this other metal that is critical for solar panels and electric vehicles and trying to build the economy and push zero net emissions by the year 2040. And every automobile company by the year 2030 is going to be electric, and AI chips, and silver is used heavily in nuclear and military. And now there's all these wars breaking out. A bunch of silver is needed for that. So silver is actually much more valuable than gold in terms of uses. So who could say if gold is $2,500 and it's valued at that when it just sits around, you have this other metal that is much more important and it's only $24, $25 an ounce. Once the revaluation of silver comes to the spotlight, not only from you and I, but from big industry as well, then who knows? You really can't say. So, but I'm not going to sit here at the platform and tell people, yeah, silver's about to hit $1,000. That's very, I guess, immature for me, and I have to be very careful since I do have a platform. It's different if you're just talking to your friend and you have an idea, but when you're talking to thousands of people, sometimes tens of thousands of people, you have to be more realistic, and I'm trying to. I'm not trying to hype it up because that's not even what it's about. This is wealth preservation. It's money itself. And if silver does hit $1,000, then what is the economy going to look like? What's the dollar going to look like? It might not be all rainbows and unicorns, because there's going to be a price to pay. Because if the dollar's that worthless, when silver goes up that high, what's your day-to-day life going to look like? Is it going to be in a bunker somewhere? Is it going to be, who knows? It might not be this situation you're imagining. I also wanted to mention one last thing. If silver goes to $100, it's not silver's value going up to 1,000 or 100, whatever. It's actually the dollar tanking so much that gold and silver is pushed at a higher level. It just means the dollar's so worthless that it takes $1,000 to equal 1 ounce. It's not silver's value going up. It's actually the dollar's value just tanking, which makes it even more realistic to see triple-digit silver since the dollar has lost 98% of its purchasing power in quickly losing its status as the world's reserve currency. So anyways, yeah. There is a lot of people out there that are coming forth and mentioning that they are bullish on silver. They're not afraid to say it anymore. And the articles that I used to have to try to weed through and find, I would find an article like this or a video like this once every week or two. And nowadays, it's like every day I could find a new one. Now, I don't show every single one. I try to highlight important ones. And I didn't want to play this entire interview all the way through because I don't want to take views away from it. You guys can go watch this yourself. I'll link the article in the description for you guys to check out. But I did think that was an important part to highlight and just kind of showed how important silver is. Remember, he says this is the most bullish he's ever seen silver. And that's something to really take in consideration since silver is still extremely cheap. If we know something is extremely undervalued and it's extremely cheap, and we don't know when the price is going to normalize, especially since we know it's manipulated, meaning we know that the actual price, the fair price of it's much higher. It's not like $25 silver is just where it naturally lies within the markets. No, they're holding it down on purpose. So when that breaks through, then what will it be repurposed at? Something much, 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 much higher. And since we know that, it would be foolish not to get into it. Anything else, any other market, we're investing into it from a market perspective, as maybe we'll just go up as time goes on because certain situations happen, but the markets aren't really suppressed. There's not much going on. But we know that's not the case for silver. We know it's being suppressed. We know what the markets are going to look like moving forwards with demand rising and supply falling. We know what the dollar's status means, or when the dollar becomes weaker and weaker, what that's going to do for gold and silver. So why wouldn't you? It's extremely foolish to look at silver and say, oh, no, that's too pricey. $25, that's too pricey. No, I'll hold off. That's too expensive. Like, that's foolish, because that means you don't understand the value of silver and you don't understand the value of a dollar, both of those. And those go hand in hand. Silver is a direct threat to the dollar for a reason, because it is real money. Once you take that $25 and put it into silver, you've just protected your wealth. You took the power away from the centralized bank, the centralized currency, and put it into something that holds its value, and you are in complete control, regardless of what the dollar's doing, regardless of what the economy's doing, or even more so, benefits from the economy, not only just collapsing, but also building up. Silver, on that note, the gold only benefits really in times of economic uncertainty and turmoil. Silver benefits even when the economy's blossoming and booming, because silver is used for all these industries and solar panels. So silver is the best of both worlds. Whether the economy's in bad shape, it's used that monetary metal, that's that backbone, but it also is an industrial metal. So when the economy's booming, it also flourishes, where gold really doesn't do much when times are good. So, it has other things working for it, but I'm not trying to sit here and hate on gold. It does have its place, but right now, silver is definitely the better buy with a lot more opportunity and potential. So anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll be posting another video today. I'm going to maybe start posting 2 videos a day, or live streaming and then posting a video. Don't know exactly what the schedule is going to look like, but definitely expect a lot of content coming soon, and probably adjusting my content a little bit. I want to make more engaging stuff. I want to do more. I really want to start live streaming. Maybe go live for like 3, 4, 5 hours and just watch videos with you guys, chat with you guys, just do a lot of different stuff. Brainstorm video ideas, whatever you want. So anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys later today. Peace.